Oh yeah. You're recording.
Mm-hmm.
Hey guys, it's Yonic Blender, and today we have something cool for you guys. Today we are doing deck profiles for our Bakugan decks that we've made. They're not really complete decks. They're like a work in progress. But we wanted to play the game and we didn't have all the cards yet, so we're just making do with what we have. So I'm doing a Fire Fist and a Green Fist deck. So I have Serpentine Ultra, Hydrus Ultra, and Garganoid Ultra. I really want to use the synergy between Darkus Bakugan and Pyrus Bakugan, because Pyrus have like the Fury effect, where if you have no cards in your hand, you can get some special effects. And the Darkus team, they have, when you discard a card, you get extra effects as well. So they work really well together. So I only have an evolution for Hyper Serpentine Ultra and Aurelus and Garganoid Ultra. This guy, his main thing is that for Fury, and this guy goes off by rolling onto the Fire Fist. I don't have any cards for Hydrus Ultra, but because it's already it's already 800 base, it's pretty solid. But still, it's a work in progress. So I'm gonna go through all my action cards right now. So I have Shade Blade, 0 cost energy for 2 damage. 2 Prismatic Shields, a cheap 1 energy for 200 B power. 3 Chaotic Darknesses to discard some cards. Some more 1 energy boosts, so like for 1 energy you get plus 3 damage. 3 copies of Sifting Ashes. I can draw 2 cards and discard 2, which is good for getting off in a discard effect or cycling through some cards. I have 3 copies of Fire Boost, because low cost and 400 B power. Once again, 3 copies of Fierce Boost, so it's 2 cost to use. I get plus 200, but if I have Fury, where I have no cards in my hand, I get plus 600, so that's pretty good. 2 copies of Dragos Fury. It's a damage booster, but if I have no cards in my hand, I do a double strike, so my damage is like doubled. Then I have 3 copies of Tainted Touch. So with all these Darkus cards, I really want a bunch of sacrifice cards. So with this, I get plus 2 energy, and if I discard a card, I get plus 7 damage. Sorry. Then 1 copy of Might of Night. I get a Sneak, Shadow Sneak, or whatever it's called, and then if I discard a card, I get plus 5 damage. Darkus Strike, it's like plus 6 damage, and if I have a Darkus Bakugan, I get to choose a person to discard a card, which would probably be me. Storm Generator, so it's a boost of 300 B power, but if I sacrifice a card, let's see, what does it say? Yeah, if I discard a card, I can put this card back into my hand. So, I don't know if I'd use that as often, but it's there for sacrificing. And just 1 copy of Smoke Armor. Honestly, I didn't have any other cards to use, so plus 500 B power. And then Stone Skin. 3 copies of it, plus 200 B power. I discard a card, I get plus 800 instead. Oops, sorry. Another copy of Stone Generator. Then I got Infernal Wings, which is pretty solid because I get plus 300 B power, and oops, sorry, I can remove all the Baku cores that my enemy has. Now I have 1 copy of China Riot. I would like to run 2 of them, but pretty much I get plus 1 damage to all my attacks. So yeah, if I discard this card, I can play for free. And Benton Dusk, I want 3 of him, but I only have 1. And so whenever I discard a card, I get plus 200 B power, and plus 2 damage. So if I'm discarding cards over and over again, it's really good. Now my last flip cards are this is my only flip card for Pyrus. It's I stop all non-Pyrus damage, and if I have no cards in my hand, I get to do it for free. 3 copies of Pact of Darkness. I'm really lucky to have 3 copies of him, because it's like the best flip card in the game. But yeah, that's my that's my still building deck. So yeah, now my friends are gonna show you what decks they're playing with. So boom, next cut.
Do I stop now?
Yeah, I'll keep that in.
It's recording.
Okay, so for my Baku core lineup, I'm pretty much doing all positive Baku cores just because I want to play super aggressively and I don't want to accidentally roll onto a negative and mess myself up. So having all positive is good for me. But yeah, those are my Baku cores. 3 of each. So next person, go.
Do I stop?
Yeah, you can stop.
Okay. The reflection.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
No, you can just put the cards onto the...
Yeah, put it on the table.
No, I meant like you go through the cards by putting them on the table. Like,
Okay. Yeah.
I'm getting through this.
Alex just completely ignored your, like, profile. You're like, I don't care about this.
Okay. Okay. Am I going?
Yeah, your turn.
Oh, okay. Well, Nilius Gang. Artist Fangs are Aquos Hydrus Ultra. So this playstyle that this deck is draw power and discard. It might go well, might not, because you're drawing a lot, and that's also your health, but you're also discarding. But, you know, play aggressive. Play aggressive to win. So these are the guys we're running. 1 Ultra. This is OP. And Shield Core. 2 Shield Cores each. So that's our core lineup. We got 2. And then 2. And for Nilius, it's a Green Fist and DNA, which is not that good. But Nilius Ultra, when it drops, it is a Shield Core pairing as well. So that would be great. 6. So just picture that to be Nilius Ultra for now. So we're running some debuffs here. Minus 300. You know, just in case. I control them. Control the opponent. But most likely I'll probably end up landing on it. I have bad luck. This is pretty useful. Minus 200 plus 5 damage. I have a lot of boost B power cards in here, so that won't be an issue. So let's just go through the deck real quick.
Transition.
We got an evolution lineup here. Bing bang pow. And then we're running 2 Hydrus Ultra Diamonds. Running 1 Hydrus or Hyper Hydrus Ultra and 1 Maximus. Because I don't have that many stuff. So I mean, these are useful, these 2 here, because when I win a battle, I can play cards for free. This one is 4 or less for free, and this one is just for free, but Aquos cards only. And then, next evolution. Ooh, Nilius Gang. Diamond Nilius. And then we got Hyper Nilius. Hyper Nilius, his ability is you may discard a card for 2 damage, or plus 2 damage. And I can do this any amount of times I want. That's useful. And then 0 cost action cards here, plus 100. They're okay. They just help set off the combos, because a lot of the Aquos cards are flow ability, where they get a bonus ability when you played something else before it. So for example, I have these here, 2 of these, or 2 tides, plus 200, but flow, if you played another card this turn, plus 400 instead, and it's a relatively low cost. So I can play a combo, play this first, plus 100, and then play this, and then plus another 600 for only 1. So it's useful. Pretty useful. And I got some draw power stuff here. You know, it's cheap stuff, and then it adds to the flow combo. And for defense, just in case, minus 3, what was it, damage for the opponent, I guess. I'm really bad at this. And then you have 3 tainted touches. They're amazing. Plus 2 damage, just sacrifice, discard for 7. So my Aquos cards will boost B power a lot, and my Darkus cards in this deck are to deal a lot of damage. This is another draw power card. Draw a card, flow. If you play another card, draw 2 cards instead. So, you know, draw. Keep drawing so I can discard. And I got 2 Shoryukens, which is, they're okay. Plus 1 damage, but I return this card to my hand so I can just deal constant plus 1s to my opponent, but also save this and, like, probably save it for a discard. And 2 Ebs. Plus 2 damage, and if the flow, plus 5 instead. And it's only 2 energies. That's nice. Then we got only 1 Mind Flood. I think I might want more. Plus 2 damage, but plus 2 more for every card I played before this. So I can just keep laying down a bunch of combos with the flow ability. Draw, and then boost my power, and then boost my power. So I played, like, for example, 4 cards, and that's 2 times 4, which is 8. So I can do 8 damage, which is awesome, I think. Garganoid's Gaze. Destroy a hero with a cost of 4 or less. It's just a nice way to say F you to your opponent. My bad. You mute that. Wave Slash. This is another attack boost. Or not attack, B power boost. 300 and then plus 1000 when I played something before. It's just a heavy hit. Another defense card. -2 damage. Sacrifice -10 instead. Because this playstyle I'm drawing a lot and I'm discarding a lot, so I will probably have a lot of cards in my discard pile, so I won't have that much health. So this will help protect me. And I got 1 Storm Generator, plus 300, B power, sacrifice. You may discard to return this card to your hand. So it's useful. It's a nice little like bounce card. And then we got, this is pretty nice for like a combo if you want to discard. If this card's discarded, I can play it for free. Just a +4 damage. It'd be nice if I had more of these, I think. And I got Hero's Demise, destroy a hero, you know, just in case your hero's being annoying, and or if I can't take control of it, just kill it. This is nice. I like this card. It's a 5 cost. It's kind of high, but I can choose a Bakugan, and my opponent chooses if it gets plus 1000 B power or 10 damage. It's a nice little heavy hit card. And I got 3 heroes. Everett Ray. It's a plus 200 B power, but for every card I play before this, it's cost 2 energy less. So it's a nice little combo card that gives me an extra 200. So if I play 3 of these, 600, and I can play it for relatively cheap. And for our flip cards, you got 2 Aquos cards, counter outsiders, non-Aquos, blocks it, and then we got a Cease Outsiders, a Darkus, or non-Darkus stopping card, and Shadow Breath. Take control of a hero, you know, let them do the work, and then I steal it. And this is nice, Pact of Darkness. I need 3 of these, or 2 more. Sacrifice, or, I mean, it stops non-darkness, or darkest damage, and then sacrifice, I can play this card for free. So, you know, it's good. Next person.
Okay, I can pause now, right?
You can turn it off. Go.
Alright then. So here are my 3 character cards that I have selected. There is Nilius Gang. There is Hellclore. And there is Aurelus Pegatrix. Haos, Aurelus. The reason why my setup looks like this is because I wanted to pursue a Haos deck. Mostly because there are so many cards. And like, I did not have the time, nor did I want to put in the effort to go through every single one of these elements. So I'm just like, let me go for this, because Pegatrix is cute. And here she is. So for my upgrades, I have 2 Hyper Niliuses, you know, gotta join that Nilius gang, you know, upgrade. And for Hellclore, I have Titan Hellclore. Here's another copy. And for Nilius, I have another upgrade, a Titan upgrade, right here. On Pegatrix, I have a Hyper Pegatrix, and I know I have another copy, so that I can obviously increase the score of it. Alright then, and to, you know, clarify my choices in, what are these called?
Baku course.
My choice in Baku course, because I definitely know what I'm doing, and I'm very well constructed deck. Here are 2 Green Fists. Here's the first one, and the second one is right here. Plus 150 B power, and then 1 attack on one of them, and 2 attack on the other one. Very standard, very safe. I wanted to prioritize getting extra B power with, you know, no negatives. That was my priority. Just no negatives. So this one is 300 B power and 3 attack. Here's another DNA for 600 B power. There was a negative here, but I thought, no, like, you know, this will help me actually win in the Bakugan fight. And I do have low-cost cards in my deck that increase attack power, so that's why I didn't really pay much attention to the -3, because I can offset that. And I think it's more beneficial to have a plus B power, because your B power is what actually determines whether or not your hit goes through. So for the shield one, I just have a plus 600 standard B power Baku core, and here's my red fist, 150 plus 4 standard. So moving on to my choice in cards, I have one 0 cost Bakugan card, which is just plus 3 attack power to a Haos card. I just think that, you know, I can be a little bit sneaky when I'm very confident that I'm going to be able to win a fight. I don't have to think about it. This is plus 0 energy. It helps me do a little bit more damage to the opponent. So now I have 2 copies of this card called Super Shot, which is only costs 1 energy, adds plus 500, plus 300. Girl, imagine if it was 1 cost energy, it was 500 B power. That's 300 B power for 1 energy. I think that's really good because it's very cheap and it adds B power. Like I said, I wanted to prioritize focusing that B power since I want to actually win the fight so I can deal damage, you know? Next, I have 3 copies of this action card called, thank you, called Cycling Light. Let me just read this real quick. So it says over here, plus 200 B power, then put this on the bottom of your deck. And I think this is a good card because, again, plus 200 B power, and I'm not losing any cards. I'm not losing any, like, you know, I put this down and I lose it. I'm increasing my life again. So that's why I think, you know, this is a really solid choice that I picked for Haos, is what I'm going to let you think. But, you know, I just thought this swirly thing was kind of cute, so I put it in my deck. Excuse me. Thank you. Next, I have a 2 cost card called Fragile Light. I picked it because it costs 2 energy. I would love to tell you that more thought went into this card than that, but I would be lying, and I'm not a liar. So the next cards that I will be revealing is, I had 2 copies of this card called Stork Shot, and I'm just going to read 1 copy. It says draw a card and then domination, and this is one thing that you'll be seeing in my Haos deck, a thing called domination, and it is a prerequisite, which is if your Bakugan hold the most Baku cores, and that is going to be a feature that you'll be seeing in a later pick that I have a card that, you know, deals with additional Baku cores. Draw 2 cards instead. So I'm dealing with a lot of drawing cards and, you know, having these action cards that are very low cost, add more B power, and help me win these fights. Next, I have 2 copies of this card called Wayne, and here's me being a little bit sneaky. I destroyed an evil card that was not played this turn, and it's relatively low cost. And again, it's me trying to emphasize, you know, having B power advantage, because, like, if the opponent has less B power than you, they can't really do shit. Next, I have 3 copies of this card called Light's Courage, and let me see if I actually put on into this. Yes, I did. It is for 2 energy. It is plus 400 B power, and again, here's the thing called domination. If my Bakugan hold the most Baku cores, I get plus 800 B power instead. And I'm thinking that, like, again, relatively low cost, getting that, when I have my domination, I can have that B power advantage so that I can win these fights and I can deal damage to my opponent. 3 copies. Drop the card. Next, I have 2 copies of this card called Consort. And this is the card that, like, I'm, you know, relying on, and that's why I have cards that deal with drawing and going through my deck, because I'm searching for this card. And it basically helps me attach a Baku core from the field to an open Bakugan, and that helps me reach a Baku core advantage so that I'm able to make use of these domination cards that I have in my deck, so that I can, you know, have that B power advantage. I have 2 copies. Next, I have 2 copies of this card called Revitalize, and basically for 3 energy, it's plus 4 attack power for each hero that I have in play. And this is one of the cards that I'm going to be relying on to, you know, help boost my team because I'm already trying to secure a B power advantage. I need to also make sure that when I win the fights, I'm dealing critical damage rather than, you know, it's like a mosquito bite. It needs to actually at least be a hit. 2 copies. Oh, these are out of order. Oh shoot, they are out of order. Excuse me. Okay, so I'm going back to this. I had 3 copies of a card called Help Unknown. And I'm going to be real honest with you, Chief. I put this in here because one of my friends has Aquos and Darkus cards. So I put these... I put these
Wow, what a combination.
Just gonna skip. Who would ever run that combo?
Anyway. I had 2 copies of this card called Razor Wings. And basically, it's 1 energy and it is like put this card into your hand when you flip it. So when I take damage, you know, flip effect, my Haos, you know, it has the benefit of like, oh, when I take damage or like when I play a card, it goes back into my deck. So it helps prolong my HP. Next, I have, I'm honestly not sure, they're kind of out of order. I have 2 copies of Hold Outsiders because I personally felt that like it wouldn't have been an issue to include this kind of like defensive card because I actually have a lot of cards technically because a lot of them go back into my deck. So I thought maybe, you know, just a little bit of a defensive thing, I can include these in there. Not as big of an issue. I might reevaluate my opinion as I...
Let's reset the time.
Reset. For 30 years. Okay.
Go for it.
Is it good?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright then, so continuing. Y'all tried to stop me, but no, this is my speech. I had 2 copies of this card called Light as a Feather. And again, for 3 energy, if it flips, put it into my hand, and then draw a card. So, more draw power, searching for cards, able to, you know, pull off the combos that I want, and me drawing more cards from my deck isn't an issue because I have cards that go back into my deck. Next, I have 2 copies of this card called Stand Together. And it is a Halt card, and it stops non-Haos damage. And also, if I have Domination, which is something that I'm emphasizing in my deck, it'll be free. So it's either 4 energy or no energy, and I'm kind of relying on that no energy damage stop, ideally. Okay, so next I have 1 card of Bone Defense. This was originally like 2 copies, but then I realized like I have cards that are like 1 energy for like 300. And for 2 energy, there's 800, but like that is, you know, assuming that I have Domination. I'm actually not really all that confident in this card, but like it's something that I have access to, so I'm taking it. And next I have this hero card. Ooh. Okay, sorry. This hero card called Philomena Dusk. And what she does is that, hold on, I only have 1 copy, so I can't read. Oh, okay, so it's Domination, and like, again, Domination, that's another trend that I have in my deck, and it's more B power, so I am using her. Okay, and I have a Haos Ascendancy. It's another Halt card, and it costs 5 energy, but it halts non-Haos damage, and also, if I hold it, it, you know, goes to my hand, so more drawing. And next, the last card that I have is called Beaming Blaster, and it's for Domination. This is one of my big hit cards. If I have Domination, it'll be plus 12 attack power. And since I'm securing a Baku core advantage, I have this kind of card so that like my so that my B power advantage can be put to use and it's gonna actually deal damage. And that is all my cards. Alright then, thank you so much for watching this video. Please make sure to like and subscribe and hit that bell notification icon so that you never miss a post. And also, just want to give a quick shout out to Teddy and me because today during our Bakugan hunt, don't kill me or just like get all this. Today in our Bakugan hunt, we were able to establish a connection with a very special person, and I'm not sure if we can actually give details to like how special this person actually is, so I'm just gonna leave it at that. So anyway, just want to give a quick shout out to Teddy and me, and thank you so much for watching this video. Please make sure to like and subscribe. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.